So I'd like to welcome everyone to Google Forms for Authentic Assessment with Cameron Steltman. It's always great to learn with Cameron. It's always a fun and fast presentation, lots to learn and lots to do. So all of us from all over Ontario participate in these great OTF Connect sessions. I'd like to welcome Cameron.
Thank you so much. I want to thank Mally for all the work she's done for this one. This session might run a little bit differently than some you've been in the past, as it's going to count on you to go out and learn what you think you need to learn the most so that you can get the most out of this session. So we do have more content than there is time, but the presentation, which you can just see above here, and I'll just paste again one more time in the chat, this presentation is yours to keep. So it has live links to all the videos. It has got copies of all the forms. It has every resource there as well as my name on it. So if you ever have any questions, you're welcome to just connect with me and we can go from there. But yeah, so it makes the most sense today if you can head over to this live link, and once you're there, then you can really kind of connect with the presentation. Because these ones are what we're going to see here on the slides is just pictures of what is actually in the presentation. So hopefully that makes sense. And again, if you have any questions, this chat feature right here is so convenient. So yeah, just type in your questions, and if it's a question that can't be explained with typing, feel free to use the talk to let us know. But we've got a lot of people here, so this is so awesome. I'm so excited to get started. So here we are. OTF Connects, using forms and sheets to enhance your practice. I am at Mr. Steltman on Twitter. If you wanted to follow me on Twitter, I just mostly post things live and direct from my just whatever's been happening in my classroom. And if you want to follow along today, again, I just have that live link or that link on every slide so that you guys know where I'm at with each slide. If I check in on the slides right now, I can see that I've got 16 of you on there, so it seems to be working quite well, which is great. 16 of us, so I think we're probably only down two or three people, so it's not too bad. And again, the link is right there in the chat. Yeah, so my name is Cameron Steltman. Today we're going to do things just a little bit differently because Forms is such a huge concept. Using Google Forms the uses are almost infinite. There's just almost no way we can get them all down in one night, but what I've tried to do is pick the things that I've connected with most, that have worked in my classroom, or when I've taught teachers, things that they've liked the most, or things that my students really enjoyed the most. So again, if there's things that you want to know if they could do it, or if there's a way, feel free to ask me and we can work on it. So you're going to choose what you like to learn, and there's going to be so much empowerment. I'm very excited about it. So yeah, if you're all ready, let's get going. So let's talk about the power of forms. So if you head over to this link, you get to fill in a form just to get the experience of what it looks like for the students to see these forms. And while you're working on your own forms, I'm going to take this information and hopefully do something with it towards the end. So if you could head to the link that Mally has put out for us and fill in that form, I'll give you 2 minutes to do that. And yeah, it shouldn't take very long. I think it's about 3 questions. I'm going to fill it out as well. Oh, that's terrible. Let me see if I can fix that immediately. So that's such a good thing to have happen. Forms are really funny. When you create a form with your school account, it won't give you permission to fill in forms. The default it sets to is so that only people within your like inside your school board will be able to have that opportunity. So it's an unfortunate mistake, but try and click it again one more time. I feel like, yeah. So try it now. It's a 1 check box, so it's great to make that mistake now so we can see what happens if you forget to uncheck that box. And for my students who are always using these to get feedback from parents, their parents are always coming back to them and saying, I can't do it. And this is why we need to know how to do that. So that one of the big things tonight is to go into those settings and show your students, if you're trying to send it outside of your board, you have to uncheck that box, or it looks like this. So a happy little accident, as Bob Ross would say, and Stephanie has let us know that we're good to go. So if you could try that just one more time, apologies, and we will go from there. Thanks, Molly. you want to give me a thumbs up when you're done or just mention it in the chat. When we get the majority of us on there, we will carry on. Beautiful. Wonderful. Thank you very much. So it seems like people are wrapping up. So as you're just filling out the last questions, I can use that information, and it's going to be kind of cool what we can do with it at the end. But let's start with the basics. So today what's going to happen is the first couple forms are really step by step by step, the absolute basics, the things you need to know to do all the rest of the things. So I'm going to have those videos playing up here while that's happening. If you're beyond the basics, though, if you go ahead in the slideshow, you will see that there is a plethora of options. There are images and videos. There's forms that do feedback, entrance and exit passes, learning skills tracker, flipped classroom, art critiques, quizzes. So find something that you are passionate about learning and create a form for that. And I've got a place where we can all put our forms after we've created a few so we can see what it looks like when people actually give us feedback. So we're going to use the next 10-ish minutes to get through all these videos. The sheets will be involved in assessment too, but it's the forms. I wanted to use the forms to create the questions that do it. There is lots on sheets too when you're doing them as assessment. If there's some specific questions you have, Michelle, if you wanted to send those to me, we could I could show you some of the things that we have. But go through, because I think there's lots in sheets too with the conditional formatting and how to use it as like with a DRA tracker. So check it out and see if there's stuff in there that connects with you. Otherwise, talk to me and we can figure it out, okay? So let's watch we'll watch the first video and we'll go from there. Mally, is there a way to just play the video on the screen for people as well?
I can try. We haven't been hugely successful, but I will give it a shot. Which one? Starting with forms?
Yeah, let's start with the first one, and then if it works, then at least we know that something's happening in the background.
Because last time I tried this, it booted me out of the room. So if I have to come back in, we'll see what happens.
Question type, how to build a form, and one purpose. So what we're going to do is keep your Right, so that was part one of our video. Part two is going to continue to go into the basics of forms so we can start seeing about what we can do with our responses. So where do those responses go with the sheets and how we get to that point. So we'll watch that video together. If I could just get a check-in, how many people are using the basics and would like to keep going with the basics, or are most of us at a place where we think we should move on to something more complex? Remember that you do have that choice to move on and make it more complex for yourself by going to this short link. Perfect, thanks Michelle. Going to this short link, and once you're at the short link, you have the chance to pick which videos, because these slides, these links that you see over here on the right are for you. So for Farron, if you are looking for more advanced, that's great. Head to that short link, and on slides number, I can see that a few of us are on these slides. There's 17 of us here. But if you are on slide number 5, we've got the power of sheets. We've got DRA trackers, how to use video, uploading files, all kinds of things, filtering, formatting, and alphabetizing with sheets, which are all in that video that are on there. And we will get to all these things, but I just want to make sure that you're getting the most out of this for yourself. I'm not sure how to mute me when it's on here, but for those people who are looking for more advanced, the goal is for you to check out these ones. That's why I have them here, is to really pick the things that you want to learn the most from and start building something that you haven't tried or that you've been thinking about trying, so that if you get stuck, you can ask me some questions and I can be here to help. So for those of you who are ready to move on, I highly recommend this link, because if you are inside of here, you can go to slide number 5 or slide number 6 or even slide number 7 and 8, I dare say, and there are a lot of different videos and learning that can happen in there. For those people who want the basics, I think we'll start with the basics here, so that this is what's happening. So hopefully this is making sense. You click this link, the bit.ly/OTF Connects form, and once you're there, it opens you up into a slideshow, and slides number 6, 5, 6, and 7 have all got more advanced options. So please let me know if that makes sense to you. And Malia, can we try and do the second basics video for people who are just starting out?
Yes, and before I do that, I just want to mention to people that all of these links, as you know, for those of you who have been in OTF Connect sessions before, all of these links are going to be sent out tomorrow. And I'll tell you that Cameron has the most robust resource page I've seen, and you have everything there to support you, whether you're beginner or advanced. So I just want you to know that you're not going to miss anything if you feel that you can't get to everything in this presentation, so you'll get it all tomorrow.
Perfect. Thanks so much. So we'll talk about part 2 of the basics here, and click on that link and head on down. I can see that there's 26 of us in on this slideshow, so just click where you want to learn and choose your own adventure. Welcome back. So after building a form, you need to know, how do we get this form to others?
Hi, Karen, you need to press your talk button.
There you go. I'm back. Holy cow, that just about gave me a heart attack. Whew. All right, so those were the basics. Thank you for being patient there with me. And for those of you out learning on your own, maybe you didn't really notice. Yeah, I somehow, my microphone got turned off. That was my bad. For those of you dropping and coming in and out, like, I realize that sometimes you get booted out from this, and that is a shame. Know that all of the links, everything that you get will, as Melly said before, get sent back out to you. So so that was the basics of forms. So we saw just how to use different question types, and I tried to make it meaningful and something that I use as a teacher. I always do start out with a getting to know your child form at the start of the year, and that's one way in which we can use forms. It doesn't give you authentic assessment, but it gives you a lot of feedback from the parents, which I think is really, really helpful, and especially come interview time when they come in and you now know this much about their student, or they could say, oh, they're really into hockey, and you can ask them those kind of things. They see that you really do care and you have that personal connection with them. And sometimes they just seem more willing to share, personal information when it's in a form like that. A diagnostic tool with grade 12 French immersion students is a great idea. So thank you for sharing that, Linda. As we move on, we are going to learn about the images, using images and video, as well as the power of sheets. When we've done these 3 videos, I'm going to give everyone a chance to build and share a form that they create if they choose. So that would be amazing if we can do that. So we've got 3 videos, and then we're going to have a chance to build and create. Again, if you're building and creating while this is happening, that's awesome. Feel free to post it. If you'd like some feedback on it, or if you have questions, please let me know. Or if things are moving too fast, too slow, let me know so that I can be here to help. So the reason we do videos like this as opposed to me showcasing my screen is sometimes this forum, Blackboard will kick people out if you have to follow along on my screen, or it gets really, really laggy. So we found it's a lot better if we have the videos and post them, and then it's kind of safe. But it does take away sometimes that opportunity to change the direction based on participant needs. So if you have a specific need, let me know, and I'm glad to help. But if not, we will go into using images inside of Google Forms. So Mally, would you mind sending that link for video 1 under multimedia, and then we'll try and watch it at the same time? Beautiful. So my microphone is working, which I feel quite good about. Images are such a helpful way to make it come more alive. I really appreciate Linda sharing her idea about putting in like background pictures, things that can just add to it. I even think in math sometimes if we're working with the older students with a formula and you've got a picture of the formula there for them, if that's helpful for them, or especially if you're letting them bring in those like notes with all of it on. So images are great. What's almost also very, very helpful is video. So video is the second part of that we are going to show right now. So if you're building alongside, I would highly recommend it. Go into your Google Drive and be building a big form as you go along, testing it out, checking it out, trying some of these little tips and tricks. Aaron had a great question. Once you've inputted the images, are they stored in your drive, or does Google Forms source it from the internet each time? It actually sources it from the internet each time, I think, because it doesn't start a repository of them. I think what it may do is take them, make a copy of them. They're not stored in your drive. I know for sure they're not in your drive anywhere, but I know that I've never gone back to a form and had an image no longer be there. Oh, thanks, Linda. So let's try the power of video, and then we can get into Sheets, and I can show you more specifically some of the assessment things that I did for DRA, which is one of the ways we use a great way to use videos in your form. So I like using videos for Perfect. So just a quick snapshot of how easy it is to get a YouTube video inside of a form. One downside with forms is that they do have to be YouTube videos. It will only draw from, the last I used it, they will only draw from YouTube itself. I would have liked it to, and I'm hoping that they change it so that you can use videos that are inside of your Google Drive as well. But right now, it is a video search or a URL, and it has to be from YouTube. So know that. That was the way it was in Slides too before in Google Slides, and that seems to have changed now. I can use video from my Google Drive. So you do need to pull your videos from YouTube. Let's look now at Sheets, as Sheets is where we really get to filter our answers, where we can format it so that we can have certain questions be turned red or green depending on if things are right or wrong. And we can kind of see how I've used it with DRA, which, as I was saying before, DRA is our reading assessment tracker. So let's watch that video, and after that we're going to get a chance to build a form or continue to adventure on your own, and yeah, let's see how it goes. Oh, I'm going to show you how you... Sorry, Mally, can I just get... Power of Sheet. Oh, I think maybe I can pause that. Perfect. Our board does not allow students to access YouTube. Can you suggest a way to use the video without going through YouTube? I would wonder if in your board, though, that you could still put the video in, and because they're watching it through Google Sheet, like through a Google form, I wonder if it would still work. If it doesn't allow them to use YouTube, you might have to just play the video for them the way you normally would play a video for them, maybe on the whiteboard, and then they could just answer the questions themselves in the form, which would be a shame. But if you're looking for a way to share videos with students just as a link so they could do it in multiple tabs, if you go to ViewPure, and I believe it's viewpure.com, I think that this is a great way to take YouTube videos and then it turns it into a link so that there's no ads. It ends up just very, very pretty. And then you've got a link that isn't a YouTube link. The only thing is you couldn't put that link into a form, but you could, so it wouldn't play right inside of the form, but it would work as a neat way that you could have it go. Sorry, JC, what do you mean there's background audio? Could you, I'll turn my talk off and we'll go through this form and hopefully the audio. You could, as Veronica says, also use Edpuzzle to crop the videos, which would be great, and you can put questions in through that as well. Yeah, ViewPure is a really, really neat website. All right, so Sheets, here we go. Oh, there's no audio? That doesn't seem good. All right, sorry, I was watching the video, I was listening to it, so I assumed it was working. Sorry, so it worked with me, but it wasn't working on the video at all? All right, well, we've lost Mally just for a quick second, but I'm going to pull back. If you could just let me know in the chat where it was that you were when we didn't have video. Oh, okay. Well, and then it seemed to have stopped itself as well, right there when I was getting right into it. So let me just, very, very odd. It'll happen. So I'm going to flip back to my video to make sure that we have it. Know that if you are on the slideshow on slide number 5, where it says blank DRA tracker template, you can have a copy of that DRA tracker that I had if that's something that you needed. If you didn't get a chance to see the video, don't worry. We will head over there this way right now. This is the link to the video though, so Louisa, if you click on this link, you can have it open in your own tab so that you can listen to it and catch up to where we were. I'm going to, on here as well, I'm going to have you guys follow me along this URL. and head back to just where, I'm going to show you how you can just where we were. I know that sometimes there is these technical difficulties and that happens. Just let me know. Know that again, you're getting all of the material and that all these videos are embedded right there in the slideshow that I've created. I think we were just about here on the video. You may be getting my voice and video at the same time. Right now, it should just be my voice as the video is not playing, but if you have the video playing in another tab, you will hear me at the same time. So right now, you should just hear me, but if you have your video playing somewhere else, and then as I press play on this video, I will turn my microphone off so you'll no longer hear me, and we can hear just the video. Huh. Well, that's very, very odd.
Aaron, do you want to see, are you hearing me two ways as well? You are. So I wonder if, I think you might, let me take a look. No, you don't have two tabs open. Yeah, that's unusual. I just got booted out, so I think there could be a little bit of a glitch. Yeah,
Kevin's back to the DRA video, which is, and so it's right from the start, Kevin? Huh. Okay. Well, if it's playing in the background, it is 4 minutes long, so we know it won't go on forever, hopefully. The DRE video is very, very good in that it starts to talk about the conditional formatting. How do we put those rules onto our sheets so that when we are, awesome, Jen. So when we are doing our forms and then when we have our sheets, we can actually see where the students are. I'm going to, Mally, do you think we should just try one more time and then like fast forward it to like 3 minutes and 45 seconds and see if it works from there?
So this is the problem that we had the other night with the videos.
Okay.
Every time I put in a video, it boots me out of the room.
Okay.
So the only thing that we can do is put the video in the chat box, and unless you want to try and put it, but it's going to do the same thing to you.
Yeah, so let's not do that.
So we'll just put the video link in the chat box.
Yep.
And people can watch that way, and I'm really sorry. Remember I said this afternoon that's what happened, and it just started happening.
Okay, so here's the link to that YouTube video. I would encourage you, if you haven't seen the whole thing, to watch from the start, but otherwise, if you had watched it, just fast forward to about 3:45 is where we had left off here, and then we can make our own. Oh, how about now, Linda? Does it work now? Perfect. So sometimes I will just turn my sound off when you guys are in the middle of watching a video so that I'm not distracting you from the learning that is happening outside. No longer, we will not be watching the video on here. We may try one more time to see if it works, but on the next one. But right now, as we're finishing up, I'm just going to flick over to the next slide. So here's a chance for us to decide what do we want to learn right now. And it's more, that question is just for you personally. Read these descriptions and we will put out the links one at a time so that you can decide which of these things would you like to make right now. So I've got a quick feedback form which is ideal for attaching at the bottom of any assignment or presentation, customizable and great for the students. I highly encourage students to make these. We put them on almost all of our assignments now, whether we're doing it for peer evaluation or teacher evaluation. We give it to parents so that parents can give us feedback on our stuff. Just very, very easy. Exit and entrance passes, quick and dirty, gives you a chance to see what students have picked up on a lesson. A learning skills tracker, so if you were observing your students and their learning skills over the course of a term, there's a chance to do all of that. Flip Classroom's form is a chance to have students pre-learn concepts at home or on break or help students who are struggling. And then they can practice the concepts with instant feedback. The art critique form is simple and easy to build. It allows students to reflect and get feedback in the creative process. And the last one is to showcase how you can use Google Forms for the quizzes that instantly mark and respond to students. It's perfect for quick check-ins. So choose which of those you'd like to do. We'll leave those all. You can see that Mally has labeled them all here. Choose which ones you want to watch. We'll give you about, the forms are about 15 minutes, so just check back in and know that you can watch more than one, obviously, and we can see where we are in about 10 minutes. Please do let me know if you need anything. I'm right here to help. All right, so it's been 10 minutes since we last checked in, but I've really appreciated the conversation that's been happening here in the chat. It's so nice to be able to know that you guys are watching the videos, checking them out, and learning from them. I really do appreciate the feedback and the things that you guys are appreciating. What we're going to get a chance to do now is, this is not it. There is more. There's lots more learning to do, and I'd really like to see some forms that you guys can make. So here, but if you wanted to go deeper, so I know 10 minutes was not enough to watch all those videos, but you have this slideshow, and if you are on the slideshow, you can add it to your drive. When you're in there, when you're inside there, there's a little triangle, and it'll say add to my drive. You can add it to your drive, or you can click file, make a copy, and then it's yours to do whatever you'd like. So here's your choice right now, is you can continue to pick a different video from these four, but as we move on through the slideshow, I want to make sure we get a chance to honor the deeper learning that can happen too. So there's some advanced ideas that you can use add-ons in Google Forms as well. And so add-ons are things that run separately. They're created by people who are not Google. You need to know that. But what they do is they will run scripts on your forms and make it so that they can be more effective. So there's lots of different add-ons you can use, but the two I chose to focus on, which I found really helpful this year, one was Choice Eliminator Lite, which is what our whole school used for booking parent-teacher interviews this year. So this video here, the Choice Eliminator Lite video, will showcase how you can make a form for interviews. And what it does is, once a parent selects that interview time, it disappears off the form so no one else can pick that same option. So that was really, really helpful. Could be helpful in your day-to-day life as well. The other one is Doc Appender. So what it does is it takes the responses from a form and automatically puts them into their own Google Doc. So you don't even have to go to the spreadsheet. Each person, once they've selected their name, will send their answers to their own Google Doc. So that is really, really helpful with guided reading, with learning skills. There's a lot of different options. So inside of that Doc Appender video, it's an add-on that I think has got a lot of legs for more than I've shown it. Like, it can do a lot more than that. So that may be something you're interested in looking at. So choose one of those, or if you're like, those aren't for me, again, there's all those videos on the last page that we had, which maybe you want to keep watching. So If we do, I think these videos are each about 5 minutes long, so if we do them for about 7 minutes, maybe just a little less, and again, keep checking in with questions, that would be incredible. All right, so Emily was just asking a question, sorry, I'm just going to be reading it out loud. For DocAppender, how do you find add-ons? I have color palette preview, but I don't see add-ons to open DocAppender. You are actually in the right spot, and because you haven't already added it in, you don't have the add-on sections and forms yet. So actually, if you go to the slideshow, and you're on the slide that says, if you go down to slide number 11, under Resources for You, Form Templates Created Today, there's a link to DocAppender right there, which takes you to the Chrome Web Store, and you can do it. But you know what? To make life a lot easier, Emily, this will get you the DocAppender add-on right there. That link will just take you to the Chrome Web Store. You can add it on, and then you'll always have that little add-ons tab right there in your own forms. Were there any other questions or anything people had about that, feedback about either of those options or any of the forms that we've created so far? No? Okay, beautiful. Then, you know what we'll do is we'll just kind of keep rolling along. I don't think we're going to get a chance to share forms with each other tonight, which is a shame, but know that if you ever wanted to send a form or see what it looks like, you can always send it out, and you can always email me with anything, any questions or things that you had. As we move along, one thing I wanted to show you, so when we filled out that form this morning, it was really cool, or this afternoon, we filled it out, and what I did is check out this link. So you guys filled out the form saying your dream locations and where you were. Well, inside here, I took your responses straight from your form, and I mapped them all out. So if you click on this link, it will take you into a map, and you're going to see a foods thing, which is something else. But if you can zoom into the map, we can see exactly where everybody's from based on what location they put in right in their thing. And if you click on all the little blue icons, which is where people were from, you can also see their dream locations. The neat thing is, though, now, just a thumbs up if that's working, if you were able to click on that link and see the map and where we all were. Perfect. Anik did it. Thank you, Anik, for that feedback. So when you're in there, you can actually see where people are. So inside of this video, it teaches you how to do that, how to use My Maps and get student thinking from a form, boom, right onto a map, so everybody's working together on it. So this video is really, really helpful for that. I'll post or Amali, if you could post the link for the Taking It to the World one. Thank you so much. It'll allow you to connect it, and I think that'll be about a 5-minute video. Oh yeah, no, sorry, Veronica. There's no sound. We're just watching this video, the YouTube video about how to connect Google My Maps and Google Forms. So that's the link that's just above from Mally. So there was no sound here because we were hoping you would be watching that video and seeing how those things connect, as well as checking out the map that with your responses right on it is the live link that I put just above that. No problem at all. Don't be sorry. But yeah, so now the video will teach you exactly how you can do that. Hi, Linda. I can try to be more descriptive. So when you're inside of the link, that bit.ly short link that we had here, I'll send it out just right now for anybody wanting to get this session. You go to this link right here. And when you click on that, then you're inside of a Google slideshow. If you click on File and make a copy, you can have it that way. And that way all the links are live, all the videos will work, and all of the resources are there for you for later. So I hope that helps. Thanks, Charlotte. So that last video just wraps up as you're wrapping up your video on how we can use forms to connect with MyMaps. I just think that that's such a neat idea, and once you have everybody's dots on that map, then you can even edit them, and you can share that map out with students so that they can edit their own responses and talk about it. So there's so many cool ways to connect forms and MyMaps, and maps are such a great way for students to, again, feel like they're a part of that bigger world. Speaking of resources, as we move to our very last thing tonight, the bonus learning, as you may say, my students this year, last year, every time I have done this, my students just love creating pixel art. They think it is just great. It creates those 8-bit characters, and it is so much fun. You could hear a pin drop. So lately what we've been doing is taking the novels we've been doing for our novel studies, and now they had to rework the cover in a different imagining, but using pixel art of what they thought the cover would be. So this video, I believe, is only about 4 minutes long, and if that is the case, then we can watch it and wrap up with everybody still having time. Yep, it's 5 minutes and 11 seconds. And so why don't we watch that, and that'll give us just enough time to say goodbye and hopefully give some feedback. And hopefully you found this works. I know it's so hard when we're all at different places and we're all trying to learn different things. So I hope you've been able to take a few things back with you and know that, again, you do have all those resources with you so that they're there for you forever. All right, as the video comes to an end and our time comes close to the end as well, the pixel art is just such a neat way for students to be artists in a different way. And for kids who can't draw, they come up with really cool pictures. You can be creative, and it ends up looking really, really nice. So with that being said, the last page on your slideshow is the links to everything. So if you want to get Screencastify to create your own videos, the link is there. The forms, if you click on each of these, will automatically make a copy for you. And then once you have it, you can do anything you want with it. Feel free to share, and hopefully other people can learn from it. The ones in brackets, like Choice Eliminator or Doc Appender, the ones in brackets will get you the add-on. And yeah, so that should do that. Sorry, I just saw a question here. This may be a silly... Yeah, if you want to share a form with parents, that's great. It's in that first one. So what you can do is you can send that form. So remember, when you're going in the settings of the form, uncheck the box that says restricted to your Halton District School Board or whatever your school board is. And once you have that, you can send it out as an email. So you can send it out to a parent list, or you can just create a short link, and you can take that short link and post that however you would normally post that to your students. Yeah, all the sharing things are available. So I would think video 1 and video 2 of that first one would be really, really helpful for you there. And again, it's just linking. So if you're doing observations of students, you may want to think about how that works, because if they could see the responses, then other parents might be able to see the responses too. But if you have more specific questions, feel free to email me. I've put my email out that way, and everything else is here inside of this form. So I just want to thank you all so much for taking your time tonight on a Monday. I know how hard that is to come out, so I really, really appreciate it, and I hope you did get something useful here. And thanks again a million to Mally for all the amazing patience and posting those resources for us. So thank you so much, and yeah, I hope you have a wonderful night. But please do leave feedback before you go. And yeah, have a great evening.
Yeah, thanks everyone, and thanks Cameron. That was really super cool, and so many uses to so many things that you can use that for, and you are so generous with your resources. It's wonderful. So just a couple of housekeeping things before we finish up for the night. So the first one is we would really appreciate if you could possibly complete, now I'm frozen again, so if you could complete the feedback form, and there are a couple of ways to get to that. The first one is when you log out of Blackboard, it will automatically take you to the feedback form, and the second is by putting it into the, just clicking on the link this is the only live link that's in the whole presentation. And once you've completed the form, it will give Cameron some feedback, OTF, and also the Ministry of Education, who funds these programs, some feedback. And you will also be able to download a certificate of completion for your portfolio. We have lots more sessions coming up, and I know Syria sent out a note today about all the May sessions. They're going right to the end of May for OTF Connects, and lots of amazing sessions coming up. And Cameron, do you have any more coming up, and do you know the date?
I do. I have one on using digital breakout rooms. So, you know, escape rooms seem to be all the rage these days. So I found a way that we are building online digital escape rooms with the students. So I teach you how to do it as well, but so students can break out, but also how the students can start building their own digital breakout rooms. And we're doing it right now in class, and my grade 5s are having just a time with it. So I think it's May 23rd or May 24th. I'm not positive. I know it's towards, I think, May 24th.
Awesome. So that's good to know. And then finally, there's still some funding left for some AQ courses that you can find out the information on the OTF